What would life be like if you looked different? How would people treat you if your skin was another color? What if you were a different gender? Or you had a disability? Or even if you were disfigured? Tonight, we bring you a social experiment like no other. Volunteers will undergo a radical transformation, then walk a day in someone else's shoes. To prepare for their big day, a team of mentors will push them out of their comfort zone and into a punishing training schedule.
A little bit shaky. You're doing really well.
When the training is complete, our highly skilled prosthetic artists will radically change our human guinea pigs. Ready or not, they must face the world looking completely different.
I've felt stage fright before in my life, but I've never been like this.
This is a social experiment where the public is put to the test. What will our hidden cameras reveal? Will they be able to pass themselves off even to their closest friends? And most importantly, what will they learn from living as another person? We reveal some surprising results. Real people, real situations. A life-changing challenge in The Big Experiment. Meet Nathan Haraway, a sports-mad 25-year-old urban male who enjoys living life to the full.
Free time. Sometimes I struggle with free time. I'm very I'm so action-packed throughout the week with work and my hobbies and stuff. When I chill out, I like to cruise around to some mate's place and just have a few drinks and have some laughs and just be a bit of a clown as such.
We'll be putting this action-packed lad through his paces as he prepares to take on the world as a paraplegic. This will mean overcoming a number of challenges, the ultimate being confined to a wheelchair for an entire day. How will he cope? How will the public treat him? And what will he learn? Like most sports-loving guys, Nathan struggles to comprehend life without the use of his legs.
I can't even understand, but I can, I guess, imagine how it would affect me. I think it would be quite devastating, to be honest.
Meet Christine Main, a 27-year-old focused on career, but always with time for family.
Most important things in my life would be my family, my family and friends. I've got a close-knit family, my mother, my father, my sister Karen, and also my partner Richie.
Christine is a country girl gone corporate, leading a busy life as a recruitment consultant. Now, her life is about to get a whole lot busier as we take away her sight and challenge her to survive a day on her own, completely blind. Thanks to specially made contact lenses which will block her vision. How will she cope? And can she rely on the kindness of strangers? Christine knows she's in for a rocky ride.
I guess it is somewhat traumatic in some ways. I think I'm going to see how much I can put myself through. I think being able to realistically go out into life as someone who is blind is going to be a huge challenge to me personally anyway.
Meet the team who are overseeing Christine and Nathan's transformation. John Aitken, a resident psychologist who will design and analyse the experiment.
This process will push their boundaries, there's no doubt about that.
Kay Daly, an independent mobility specialist for people with vision impairment.
Yes, I think she may panic, she may get emotional.
And Lee Warren, a wheelchair sportsman who mentors newly injured paraplegics.
The experience, I think, will change him, and I think he'll come out of it with a different understanding.
We've selected our mentors to give Christine and Nathan practical skills to basically get through their day, and these two are the best to do that.
For the next 3 weeks, Lee will submerge Nathan into the world of a paraplegic. He'll face an intense schedule which will push him physically and emotionally, all in preparation for the big day.
I'm looking forward to getting Nathan in the chair. I'm looking forward to being able to get him to propel himself around, watching his face as he gets excited about being able to do wheel stands and get up and down curbs, and being able to accomplish the little baby steps of the learning process of being able to get through things. Yeah.
It's just made me feel, you know, that whole butterfly, oh, I'm getting myself into something here which I have no understanding of.
They should be idling there. Okay.
With 14 years' experience working with blind people, Kay is the perfect mentor for Christine. But even so, could the challenge be too much?
I think she's starting to think about it, but I don't think she realises quite how dramatic it will be.
The big worry, I think, is that I will be losing my sense of, I guess, seeing when danger comes my way. I guess we've all got that sense of security because we know what we can see what's coming at us. We know what's around the corner.
I think certainly they understand what's intellectually what's ahead of them, but in terms of experiencing it and actually assessing their ability to cope with these changes, I don't think they're aware of that yet.
En route to his first training, Nathan asks the question Lee gets asked nearly every day.
So tell me, man, like, I've been curious all weekend and stuff. How did you get paralysed originally? Because we haven't discussed it.
I fell off, you know, a Vespa or a scooter, like a Nifty 50 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fell off one of them, that was it. I fell onto like a metal pole fence and managed to break 3 ribs, puncture my lung, and snap my T12 vertebrae and 75% rip the spinal cord as well. Pretty horrendous on a Nifty 50.
Oh, sounds horrible, man.
People ask all the time what happened, how it happened, that sort of thing. Nathan's going to have to get his backstory sorted so that he knows it. Is almost guaranteed he'll get asked.
Lee has brought Nathan to the Auckland Spinal Unit, where people with new spinal injuries undergo a 6-month rehabilitation. Nathan has just 3 weeks to learn all he needs to know, and the first challenge, using a wheelchair.
What's that?
Though, as Nathan soon discovers, even getting into the chair is no easy feat.
Lie down. And pretend you don't have any of your leg muscles working.
I hope this thing can hold me.
I think it's got 120 kilo weight limit.
Because newly injured paraplegics haven't developed the skill or the upper body strength they'll need, often a sling is used to help transfer them into the chair. Over the next few sessions, Nathan will need to master the wheelchair, and that includes being able to get up and down stairs without causing himself serious injury.
Now all you're going to do is move forward, remember rolling
As for
forward.
Christine, she's had a dramatic change in eyewear, losing both the designer label and her vision. And now she must come to grips with a new tool, the blind cane.
On the left,
I know
you're
that.
too close.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Just a little arc. Now it's just the basics to give you a feel, all right?
Okay.
Go for it. Rolling
All right.
forward, walking. Ooh. Just a little arc, side to side. Very nice.
Oh my gosh. Those are
The biggest challenge for Kay is instilling confidence in her new pupil.
Okay, I'm going to stop you.
If we shift our centre of gravity back, which is what we do when we're frightened, we actually wobble from side to side. And when we do that, we can't think a straight line and we can't walk in a straight line, and that's when you get into all sorts of trouble.
I'm going to put my feet either side of your body width, and I want you to wave the cane from side to side, and that's as big as we want to do.
Okay.
Just a little one. If you go too wide, you're going to knock everyone out in space who's around you.
Yep.
Okay, little. Now I want you to think of a fishy tail with your wrist. Not a whole arm movement because you get tired.
Okay.
Okay, just a little side to side, relax, and roll forward and go for it. I'm here if I need to be.
Definitely leaning forward and staying confident, something that's pretty hard to do when you haven't got your eyesight.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay, that's because you were just getting a bit tense. Your muscles aren't used to that.
Yep.
Okay, so it's a gentle flow from side to side and keep your arms centred.
While Christine may feel vulnerable now, this is nothing compared to the challenges ahead. The big experiment is underway, with volunteers Christine Main and Nathan Haraway preparing for the biggest challenge they will ever face. In 3 weeks' time, she will experience 1 full day as a blind woman and he as a paraplegic. Currently, Nathan is struggling with Wheelchair Skills 101, finding himself unable to negotiate a single step.
So we don't get the front wheels up that time.
Frustration soon sets in, as this sports enthusiast has never had to try so hard to accomplish something so small.
Oh, that is so hard. It is so hard. You know, getting over a little bump is just a mission. I'm someone who's active and I'm quite coordinated with my body, and being scared that you're going to fall back trying to coordinate everything, your confidence isn't there with it.
Despite his misgivings about falling backwards, Nathan must learn how to tackle stairs if he's to see this challenge through.
Okay, running up to it. And keep a note of where my hands are as well, like in proportion to where the balance is, and each step I'm hitting at, I'm then pushing forward a bit more, okay?
Though even for the accomplished, it's a tricky manoeuvre.
Ooh. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, okay.
Now it's Nathan's turn.
Okay, so you get your wheelie.
And then keep on that wheelie while...
And then push yourself up. You've got to get a little bit of a boost.
You do, don't you?
Think of it like that step that you did, where you have the lead up and you bounce.
Even though Nathan still requires a lot of help, Lee's surprised by his progress.
What are you doing?
Very good.
It's intense, eh? It's really intense.
I am really impressed, Nathan. That is hard out, that really is.
I went up some little steps and I had 2 people helping me, and I got up there and I was breaking into a sweat. It was difficult, you know, it was really difficult.
I think they're starting to realise just how significant the challenges are ahead of them. And it wouldn't surprise me if fear's starting to creep in now, whether it be Nathan facing a flight of stairs or indeed Christine losing her sight for the first time in her life. This is going to be really difficult.
So far, Christine has only experienced partial loss of sight. Today, after a series of eye tests, she will trial how it feels to be completely blind, thanks to the simulation lenses special effects artist Deb Watson has had flown in from LA.
Good reaction.
Wow.
So that's the one kind of option, which will then have a black pupil.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky, you'll have a bit of light perception, and this will create a simulated blind eye.
With the lenses in place, Christine opens her eyes and instantly feels very unnerved.
Doing really well.
Wow.
You don't see too well, do you?
No, not at all.
See the look on your face. Looks
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah, well, I think just because of the light that's in here, I mean, you wouldn't want to be any darker, you wouldn't even see the corner of anything.
Strange feeling.
It is, isn't it?
Quite disorientating. I mean, some people get completely freaked out if you do this to them.
I'm not going to get into freak out mode, but it's really unusual. Oh,
Try and get up and see how mobile you could be.
basically shutting me in a box. It was, quite an interesting experience because I had, a few people around me. Oh, wow. Such a huge difference. The door's open.
The door, yeah.
I had no idea who was talking to me unless they addressed me specifically. I actually feel quite lonely and a little bit self-conscious, to be honest. Unless my name was said, I didn't know that anyone was speaking to me, and I really did feel quite isolated as soon as they were in, until the minute he took them out.
Taking Christine's eyesight away like that, so dramatically, is going to be incredibly challenging for her. One of the things we need to be careful of here is that her body doesn't go into a state of panic and she starts to be overwhelmed and suffer anxiety symptoms. So we need to monitor that carefully.
As part of Nathan's training, Lee has arranged a meeting with one of New Zealand's leading physicians in spinal injury, and they've agreed no question is out of bounds.
Right, put me on the spot.
I guess the first thing I'm looking at is what's the most common way that people get injured?
Well, that's a very good question. I mean, in New Zealand, the most common is through the car accidents, and essentially alcohol-related. So 50%, over the last 20-odd years, 50% of spinal injuries are related to motor vehicle accidents.
Would you be able to give a brief explanation of what happens to the spinal cord and to the muscles when you get a spinal injury?
Every muscle in our body has to have a nerve supply. So when you lose the nerve supply, the muscle stops functioning. So it is not just the muscles of the leg or the muscles of the arms. The other very important organs that get affected are the bladder and the bowel. And that can cause more problems for people than the fact that you've lost movement in your legs.
So apart from losing mobility, what are some other issues and problems that may arise?
Spasticity, where the muscles move without control, so you get a lot of tightening. And then if you've lost your sensation in your butt,
you wouldn't move around.
You don't move around, and there's got to be a discipline about when you're in a chair of doing what's called pressure relief. And if you don't do pressure relief, then you're at risk of getting these pressure sores or skin breakdown, and these can be nasty and they can become great sort of ulcerated cavities. So the whole thing of living with the use of a chair is it's discipline. You've got to be disciplined in the way you empty your bladder. You've got to be disciplined in the way you do your bowel. You've got to be disciplined in the way you look after your everything. You get to know your body much better than those who are able-bodied.
So much information to take in, and just learnt so much stuff I just wasn't aware of, you know, and it's just mind-blowing.
Next up on Nathan's schedule is learning to drive, but there's a catch. He won't be able to use his legs. Today, Nathan is learning to drive Lee's precious V8 without the use of his legs.
It gives you a level of independence of being able to drive and go where you want to, not really being able to catch a bus. Taxis are too expensive, and you can't always rely on friends or family to get you around.
Lee's car has been specially fitted with hand controls which take over from the foot pedals.
Accelerator, brake, indicating right to accelerate, and pushing into the dash to brake, and anywhere through the acceleration you can brake. Give it a go.
Sweet.
Apart from the actual driving, the only other difficult thing about a new person driving is getting in and out of the car. All of a sudden you're taking 5 minutes to get in and out of the car, whereas normally you just open the door and you're in. So ready to go.
Wow. Yeah. Should be sweet. I see.
Let off and then slowly give it a little bit of gas just to feel how it accelerates. So how does that feel?
It's quite nice into it, eh? I'm not used to using my left arm if I'm using the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
I think it's just getting used to your hand movements, and sometimes you want to have the old flinch of the leg to put on the brake, but it's really just getting used to the hand movements.
With the first week of training complete, our experts have decided it's time to raise the stakes.
Now that Christine and Nathan have learnt the practical skills, we're going to shift their focus to getting greater insight into the psychological components.
In Christine's case, Kay decides to introduce her to a group of women who know firsthand what it's like to live without sight.
I don't get a lot of, preparation time, I guess, so anything you guys can kind of help me with, any tricks, all those sort of things, would be great.
The one thing you can't have is pride. You can be proud of yourself, but I mean, don't overdo it. Yeah. If you need help, don't be too proud to ask for it, because if you don't, you won't get it.
I mean, if you walk into a few poles, we all do it.
Don't worry about it.
A common theme these women share is the isolation they felt through being blind.
In third and fourth form, I felt quite isolated from the rest of the class, and they wouldn't really treat me as an equal, really, and I had to go to the guidance counsellor, and I ended up having a really good friend who's been with me through for 5 years, and so it's really good. I mean, it's really good. I think it's not the quantity of friends you have, it's the good quality of the friends you have.
And it takes a wee while to learn that, eh?
Yeah, it does. Because
you see everybody and they have these...
all these mates hanging around.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I like people. I just, if they don't want to talk to me, fine. I'll just go talk to someone else.
So as far as the tips go, I think all of it stuck with me, everything that they've said today, but I guess the most that I took away from this is the whole feeling of it. And like I say, now I feel like I'm doing this for some people, not just for myself, for the experience.
Across town, Nathan has been invited to watch the Wheel Breakers trial, and already he's seeing moves he can only dream of.
Oh man, it's awesome, eh? Just seeing it up close and seeing the amount of contact and the amount of agility on the wheelchair is hot, man. It is hot.
But Nathan's not just here as a spectator. Lee wants him to meet some of the team and discover how they came to terms with losing the use of their legs.
Yeah, I had a forestry accident in '99. I was running a couple of bush crews and just had to go up falling, cutting the trees down for half a day. We had a machine coming in the next day and yeah, a rotten tree fell over and smacked me.
I had a car accident 3.5 years ago. I'm a lot more sociable now than I was when I had my legs. Everyone's curious and they always ask you questions and that, and I don't mind answering them, eh?
Yeah, outlook on life's a lot better. You're still here and I love life.
Acceptance is a big thing, you know. It's not just other people accepting you, it's you accepting yourself, looking in that mirror and saying, whoa, this is me now, and being happy with it. You know? It's a hard thing to do.
Before long, Nathan works his way up to the question most people don't like to ask.
Obviously, you know, there's certain questions that people never get to ask or always want to know about. I guess sex, you know.
We all got different levels of spinal injuries, and that can affect your sexual function as well.
Yeah.
See, with my injury, which is belly button level, T12L1, those are sort of all the nerves that connect up to your sexual function and that, but I don't know, I was quite lucky and none of those nerves were that badly damaged in my injury.
You know, everyone's different, and I think a big part of it is who you meet. You find the right person and there's very few problems you can't overcome, you know.
Yeah, having a chat with the guys was just fantastic. You know, it's really good to get all these different perspectives on things. And the more and more I talk to different people, the more and more I learn.
By week 3, Christine's confidence has increased, so Kay is guiding her through a practice run of the kind of challenges she'll soon face on her own, such as tackling an escalator.
Okay. Now you let your cane go off the edge, hold on to your cane. Okay, bring it back, remember, enter it like a step. I couldn't find it. Oh, there it is. Okay? Okay. And then you just want to move up, bring it to a vertical, move up quite close. Okay, because you want to be able to step right on. Now, you need to go clunk, clunk, clunk. And just after that clunk, you need to step to your cane. All right?
Yeah.
And then you hold on.
Okay.
Escalators don't stop for anyone, so Christine is taking her time.
I was so hesitant when I went to step out.
Well done.
Oh, here we go. You know, it was almost like going down a scary water slide or something. You just don't want to make that first step.
Okay, now this is
And with that challenge behind her, how does Christine feel about playing in traffic?
You'll feel, always push the button, otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You only have to do it once, but you'll feel a throbbing.
Yes.
Now I want you to listen for the cars on your right. They should be idling there.
Okay.
And keep going. Straight line, nice and confident.
Lean forward, use the cane, straight line was okay, but
Keep going.
getting around to the right and then using the next crossing, which was just the painted lines, a zebra crossing. Kay had said to listen for the cars stopping. But when you've got so much traffic left, right and centre, I didn't know if I could actually hear if the cars were stopped.
Despite a promising start, Christine begins to let her fear take over.
As soon as I got outside, scariest thing I've ever done. Really had the adrenaline pumping.
Well done. And just gently move away from that shop front once you've got that line and you're away. Otherwise there's a lot of stuff in your way.
Yes, there is.
But it's too late. She started convincing herself she can't do it. And finally, she finds she can't go on.
How are you feeling?
A little bit shaky. You're doing really well, really well.
Yeah.
And I was there.
I know.
Just letting you experience it. And those guys at lunchtime do
Yeah,
this all the time.
I know, that's what I keep thinking.
Amazing, eh? But remember, they've had a hell of a lot of training.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't like crossing the road at all. Once you press the button and you go, that's fine, but that other part, I don't have a trained enough ear to see if someone has stopped. I don't want to stand there like an idiot, waiting for someone to stop who already has.
Yep.
You know, and all that, all that crap. everything on the left-hand side, you know, you bump into it, you know, and I don't know who was in front of me, but someone said, oh, you know, you're all right, so...
But this is where it takes a long time to learn to trust your cane.
With the final challenge close, Kay's concerned Christine isn't coping.
I think she's okay in what we call a controlled environment, which is home, which is malls, those kind of places, semi-controlled. But as soon as you get out into the real world where things change, then that's where that overload is coming in, and I think she's forgetting things and just kind of losing it a bit. She's kind of disorientated. So yes, I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm scared. You know, I'm really quite worried about, you know, the out crossing the road thing. You know, that's big. Walking down the side of the road, I think I can do it. You know, it's not easy, and I have so much respect for those who are out there every day living this life who can't take their glasses off afterwards.
With fear taking hold, Christine faces an agonising decision. Can she face the world completely blind, or will she call it quits?
Be easy on me, man.
Soon, Nathan will face his ultimate challenge and experience the world through the eyes of a paraplegic. Meanwhile, Lee has arranged a specially fitted wheelchair and wants to see if all that practice is actually paying off.
I really like it. It looks good. It's going to be nice and light, easy to carry, easy to move if I need to.
Curbs are still a struggle for Nathan. In fact, he's yet to conquer one on his own.
Do you want to try a curb?
Yeah, why not? When I was approaching the curb, you know, I was a wee bit nervous or unsure because I didn't have someone behind me. And really, it's just one of those things where I've just got to dive into it, build up my confidence, take action, do it.
This is probably one of the smallest ones we're going to find.
How am I going to handle those rocks?
Well, I'll show you. I'll do it. I'll show you. Okay. And then you give it a go. How do you feel?
Just gonna give it a go, eh?
Like when you come up, you're doing the same thing as we did in the spine unit, wheelie, and then up. Okay?
Yeah.
You make it look so easy, man.
That's because I've been doing it for years. So sort of.
Oh God.
That's it. And then lean forward and push. That's it. Sweet. So that wasn't that hard. Makes it a little bit easier when you're in a lighter chair too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Lee's worried Nathan may not be ready to be on his own in a wheelchair. Right now, there are training wheels so he can't fall back when negotiating steps, but come the big day, they'll be coming off.
I'm a little bit worried about going off, because going off, you know how you've got to sort of...
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm thinking
down?
with the trainers.
Yeah. See how you go, though.
I think going down is a wee bit more difficult than it can look.
Remember, it doesn't have to be...
Ready or not, there will be no more training, as tomorrow, Nathan and Christine face the final challenge.
Their training's complete now, and the great thing about this experiment is that not only are we going to capture their experiences externally on camera, but we're also going to be able to get them to report to us about their internal processes, namely their thoughts and their feelings.
The final day of the experiment has arrived, and despite the anxiety Christine experienced during training, she wants to carry on and successfully complete a day without her sight.
I feel as though I'm a little bit more relaxed than I actually expected myself to be. I know it's going to be a really hard day and it's going to be quite challenging, and this is going to be the longest I've ever been without my sight, and I really can't tell you exactly how I'm going to react to that.
Though it's fair to say the nerves are still there. Watching from the studio, our mentors are eager to see how Christine will cope.
At least I'm going to have the lenses in today. I think it's a different story when you walk around with those glasses on, because you just have the urge to look, you know, and I know that I could. This time around I can't, so it will very much be deep end.
Special effects artist Deb Watson fits the specially made contact lenses, which will completely block Christine's sight.
Okay. Well, they're in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm completely blind.
Completely blind?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I guess I still had hope that there would have been a little bit of movement or light and dark or something, but nope. So I'm fully in it.
Christine's day gets underway, and the tips from her blind friends have come in handy. such as using safety pins to identify her outfit.
Now, she told me to put this on, and she didn't tell me how to get it off.
She's also kept her makeup in the fridge so she can feel where it is on her face. And she manages to phone a taxi, which just leaves 2 problems.
Oh, shoot, I have no idea where my cane is. Right, now there's that one. Where the hell is the other one?
Finally ready to go, we've armed Christine with a concealed camera to capture people's reactions. As for the challenge ahead, she must make her way into town and purchase an item of clothing. It may sound easy, but even getting into the taxi proves difficult.
Excellent. Thank you.
Took his arm. Good.
Rear seat would be great, thanks.
Oh.
Okay, and where are we? At the door?
People don't think about 2 body widths.
Thanks very much. Just bear with me while I fold this up.
On the left.
On my left is the car?
Left inside, yes.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was getting in on the other side. Okay.
No. You can go in.
Okay. Where am I going in?
Hold on. The seat.
Oh, this is the seat here. Yes. No, I'm fine now. Thank you. Excellent. Sorry, when you said to my left, I thought the...
And she's missing the visual clues of the social aspect, that the man's off.
Even sitting in a taxi is unsettling.
Yeah, I suppose just from not having a focal point or knowing where I am, you know, I'm feeling a little bit motion sickness. So, unexpected.
Welcome to my humble room.
Nathan too is about to embark on his biggest challenge to date. But first, a reality check.
Look, what this is a bottle of sort of like fake urine.
Yep.
Because Marion here is going to fill up a catheter bag half full and let you feel what it's like going around all day with a half full bag strapped to your thigh.
The first thing of the morning is normally your bowel cares, and those are normally done Monday, Wednesday, Friday for most people. That you get into a pattern where you have a bowel evacuation 3 times a week. So normally the night before, on the Sunday night, Tuesday night, you'll take a couple of tablets which help stimulate your bowel to empty.
Nathan has asked about mobility. He's even asked about sex. But at no stage did he consider he'd be wearing a catheter bag filled with fake urine.
Sit slow down your leg. You can have it on with up high.
Friday night. He's not comfortable.
No.
Being out of his comfort zone so much, he's doing really well.
And just to move him a little further out of his comfort zone, his legs are being strapped, so he really will have to rely solely on his upper body.
And you sort of shuffle back. Set yourself down. Right. I'm going to wheel you out just because of these very enclosed spaces. I don't want you to bump your fingers on the edges of the doors.
And once outside, there's yet another surprise.
Oh, no way. Oh, this is going to be awesome.
Yes, it's up to Nathan to do the driving. And the hardest part of that is getting himself and his chair into the car.
What's going on here?
20 minutes later, he's finally ready to go.
It's me, man. Sweet.
Meanwhile, Christine has found Auckland City, but is struggling to find the shopping mall.
OPSC sign, huh? Yeah, I'm fine, don't worry about me. Find my body line.
Still finding it hard to trust her cane, she's managing to hit most pedestrians who cross her path. But even they stare in horror when she hits the next hurdle.
Oh, shit.
The bottom of that sign protruded out. That was the problem there. Her cane missed it. She found the wall and then her foot hit the bottom of the protrusion.
Oh, there's a road.
And she is on an angle there. She probably got sick of walking into the sandwich board, so she's kind of gone on an angle, got a bit disorientated. She looks a bit unsure.
Remembering some of the advice she's been given, Christine puts pride aside and asks for directions. Though she's so disorientated, she doesn't realise she's at the edge of the footpath.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much for your help. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh. what is in front of me? Stop and think. Right, you can orient yourself. Find a building.
You see that she looks like she's gathered herself.
Yes, she has. She stopped and she said, now what am I supposed to do? Building line. Good girl.
It's not a building. Yes, it is. Okay.
What Christine doesn't know is there's a crew member shadowing her every move as a safety precaution. As she approaches a road, they decide it's time to step in.
Okay, I'm just going to stop you there,
Yeah,
okay?
I have no idea where I am for a second.
You're handling it really
No,
well.
I'm okay. I must have veered off.
Yeah, you did. You veered off ever so slightly.
Despite a shaky start, she's determined to keep on going.
I am in the mall. All right. Oh. Sorry, what is? Oh, it's a wrapping table, is it? Merry Christmas. There you go. It's not usually here. That's all right. Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Am I in the way? No? Okay. Thank you.
I'm really impressed with her resilience throughout this so
Oh,
far.
absolutely.
You know, she's jumped straight to the mall where she's even able to keep a sense of humour.
Yep.
You know, about running into the table.
Yep, she's doing really well. And she is using her cane incredibly well, you know. Good listening.
Yeah,
Good
she
listening,
found
girl.
So fast, she just almost walked straight to it like she knew where they were.
Yep.
We have seen how Christine copes in a busy world. Now it's time to put the public to the test. Rigged with a hidden camera, Christine heads inside to make her purchase.
Hi, sorry, I was just trying to, I knew where the counter was somewhere. My sister came in and said that you guys have some underwear sets.
I'll take you to where they are.
Thank you.
So, just take my arm.
Okay, I tell you what, I'll take you there. That's right. Excellent.
People seem really helpful throughout this whole day. They've been.
Yep, I think it's great, particularly in a situation like this where it's something personal and she's, you know, helping her out and saying things clearly, letting her take her arm.
So far, so good. Christine has kept her cool, but she is yet to face her biggest fear, making it across a busy city street. Nathan's challenge of living for one day as a paraplegic is well underway. In fact, he finds driving using only hand controls rather amusing. That is, until something goes wrong and the pressure's on.
Oh, here we go. First lesson learned.
Oh, it's getting beat at.
Nathan's challenge of finding a car park in Auckland City is surprisingly easy, but he's finding it a lot harder to deal with some of the attention he's getting.
Most people glance, but children and kids and babies are just dumbfounded. It's great because it's so new and different. And this is ridiculous. They got wheelchair access symbols, and then they've got 2 sets of 2 doors to try and get through.
Yes. Do you want to help me out, bro? Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Thanks for that.
Oh. Nathan's mission is a simple one. Find a supermarket to buy the groceries we've asked for, then go to the bank. Sounds simple enough, but it's about to prove more difficult than he can possibly imagine.
I need a hand with a bottle of wine. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it.
3 items later, Nathan is unpleasantly surprised to find his catheter bag has sprung a leak.
Yeah, that's leaked fully, eh? Sweet as. Yeah, I need to go to the toilet. Do you have a customer toilet around here at all?
Yeah, no, we don't have actually toilet. We have upstairs toilet.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to.
You can't go
I'm
upstairs.
I'm gonna have to put this down somewhere and go out to a public toilet.
Mission abandoned. Nathan goes in search of a local toilet where he can clean himself up.
It's a really disgusting feeling, and at the moment he's handling it really well.
He discovers it's across a road, which means taking on the dreaded curb.
I don't rate my chances.
Come on, Nathan. Push it up, push it up.
Oh. I'm trying to figure out. I'm getting frustrated. That's what's happening. If this chair doesn't fit, I'm so going into the ladies' room, mate. You know, it is embarrassing. I mean, shit. Now my foot's wet. I'm in the middle of public. It's not going to be dry and really resolved until I go home and have a shower and being able to wash it. Oh well.
See, that's where the realisation of it's going to be smell, it's going to be wet, and you can see it in his face. It's like, yuck, this sucks.
Also struggling to cope is Christine. Crossing the road is her biggest fear, and now she must face it alone.
She looks like she's striding out there.
Yeah, that's good. She's got a momentum up, but right at the beginning, she didn't have a line. And she's off. And there's no camber in that road, so she'll have to deal with it. There we go.
She looks pretty stressed there.
Yeah, well, it's the same sort of thing. She's out on the road, it's scary, there's lots of sounds, but if she just stops and keeps calm, thinks about it, follows that line back to where she should be, she'll be fine. But it's the panic.
Oh, shit.
Christine is headed in the wrong direction until a crew member tells her to turn around.
Thank you.
3 hours into his day, Nathan still has no groceries and he needs to go to the bank. Only problem is, no wheelchair access.
Excuse me, mate. Are you able to grab one of the tellers and get them to just let them know I'm here to...
A friendly customer brings out the bank manager, and as our hidden camera captures, Nathan is put in an uncomfortable position.
Oh, it happened a wee while ago with some mates when we were just in a car accident, and so yeah, just hit my spinal cord and...
But the questions go on.
So
you were driving the car at the time, or...?
No, I wasn't driving the car. No, I was in the passenger seat in the back seat.
And on.
Yeah, so...
Where was it?
Sorry?
In the highway?
Yeah, it was on the way up to Alexandra. I don't know.
So he's asking the question, how did this happen? And he's just wanting to get some money out by the looks of things.
In this case, it's not like the guy can get the money and still be talking to Nathan. So this guy's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll help you. But hey, blah, 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 tell me your life story.
After almost 25 minutes at the bank, next we ask Nathan to hail a cab. Despite the many empty taxis in the area, 20 minutes later, he's still waiting. Christine has successfully made it home with her purchases. What would have taken her just to lunchtime to do has amounted to almost 4 hours and an incredible amount of stress.
Did I hear my sisters giggle around here as well?
Hello, darling.
Oh, hi.
Makeup artist Deb Watson returns to relieve Christine of her lenses and return her sight.
Ready? Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Right. Look away. That's it. Oh. There you go. Up here.
Ah. Hi, everybody. Wow. Hello. Emotionally, though, I'm really pleased they're out and that, you know, I've got the got my sight back, and yeah, today was in some cases easier than I thought it was, and all over it was still the hardest thing I've ever done.
After 5 hours as a paraplegic, Nathan returns home exhausted, but with an insight into a new world.
What's up?
Hey, mate. How was your day?
Oh, it's been intense, eh?
Really?
It has been intense.
Try, see if you can stand. Do they feel weak or?
No, they feel quite good. I'll stand up and we'll give it a go, eh? Oh. My knees, man. Such small, simple activities to do in the day of a life kind of thing. It just takes so much energy and time, and my upper body is just hammered. My hands, my shoulders, my arms. I feel absolutely shattered.
That's amazing. It just shows you that there's a lot more to this than just physical disability.
She did really well.
I think both of them just went really well. They did so well.
Overall, it was impressive to see people cope under pressure like that. The general public seemed to be accommodating to them, and I think really it opened our eyes to the fact that people with disabilities are under great challenges and deserve huge amounts of respect.
Well, I feel like I've got a greater understanding of disabled people and the issues they face. I am really grateful for that opportunity, and I also now just appreciate the small things in life.
Now that I've seen it from the inside out, I really I want to help. I want to pass on messages, and you know what? Yeah, I want to live my life to the utmost and really enjoy the privileges that I have, because anyone who doesn't have that privilege, they'd probably give a lot to have it, you know. And I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste it at all.
Next week on The Big Experiment, this charismatic cheerleader undergoes a traumatic journey as she faces being disfigured. Her life is turned upside down when she goes from beauty to burns.
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
And this good-looking boy about town gets 25 years added to his age. We see how this male model copes when he loses his looks, and it's not pretty.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.